We are back. I'm going to name this video, if I had to give it a name, it would be called the Beating Heart Project. And so let's go ahead and start this up. In fact, let me go ahead and show you what the final result's going to be. This is the heart beating up and down. Also, it's got a, I don't know if you can hear that, but so we're going to have a sound with it, and so it's going to, like it's beating. It's just playing a note, but it's going to sound like it's beating. So this should be pretty fun and straightforward. So let's get to it, and I'll show you how I did this. Turn the sound off because that can get annoying. Okay, so we're going to open up make code. We're going to start from scratch here. I'm going to type in make code to my browser. Click on Microsoft Make Code and go for the microbit here. It brings up some stuff that I have here, but we're going to do ours from scratch. So we're going to go new project. Going to give it a name. Going to call it Beating Heart, and hit create. And keep in mind we have to bring in our extensions. So to do that, we're going to either hit extensions here and get to this page, or we're going to go over here to the gear and hit extensions and get to this page. Once we do that, we need to give a URL of our extensions, because our extensions for the PixelBox aren't on this recommended extensions page. Not yet. Hopefully one day they'll be there. If you go to the link, the Google Drive link, the Google Drive page here, hopefully that link was shared with you. So then you can go to how to install PixelBox Make Code extensions. So if I click that, this tells you how to do it, but I'm taking you through that now. What you really need is this URL right here. Right, so grab that URL, and you probably want to put this in a place that you can make it available to your students so they can do this quickly each time they have a creation. So then I hit enter, and it brings up this empty box here, and I'll hopefully get some artwork in there eventually. And you click that, and you now notice that our PixelBox drawer, tool drawer, has been added to our list here. All right, so we're there. This is basic stuff. We've done this twice before. If you've done the moving square, and if you have done the initials video and video 5, then you've been here before. So what we're going to do is, the first thing we have to do, we'll go to advanced, and then we'll bring up a function. So we're going to have to get a function, which, keep in mind, a function is a collection of instructions that we can call with one name. And so we're going to hit make function, and then we're going to call this, let's call this, I always start them with show. So we're going to go show, I'm going to say show big heart, and then do done. So that's going to get us started on making our first drawing, which is a big heart, because we're going to do this with 2 drawings. We're just going to alternate the big heart and the little heart. So the next thing we're going to do is we need a variable. We're going to make a variable, and we're going to call it big heart, and that's going to give us these buttons here. And so we're going to use this set big heart. Got to give it an initial value. So we've created a memory space called big heart. Now we got to put something in it. We don't want to put a 0 in it. We want to put an image in it. So we're going to go here to our PixelBox drawer, and we're going to do create an image and replace the 0 with create an image. And we're also going to call that the same name, big heart. Okay, so that gets us started. Now we have to define the rows of our image. So we go back to PixelBox and get this long block here. So we're going to pull this over here, these image names. So the image name we're going to choose is big heart. And like I did before, I like to make these all black because I use black as the background here, which means the pixels are turned off or they're not emitting any color. So I like to do that when I set up my initial image here. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to duplicate this 7 times. So I'll have a total of 8 rows. That's 3 rows, 4 rows, 5, oops, 6, 7, and 8. And then I'm going to number these 0 to 7 because computers start counting at 0. And I can use the slide here, or I can just type it in, and I'm going to type it in. It's a little bit faster. Let's see, for me, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. Now, do not forget to put the show button down here, because if you don't, then your image won't show up on your PixelBox. And then so show image, and then give that the same image name, big heart. All right. So we're good to go here. Everything's looking good. I've set up that image. Now I can go ahead and draw the image now, and then do my second image, or I could copy this and have 2 blank slates for both images. I'm going to go ahead and I think this time I'll make a copy first. I'm going to hit duplicate. It's just because here I know exactly how many images I'm going to do. This function is, I'm not going to put show, I'm going to put show little heart or small heart. Small, H-E-A-R-T, heart. And then I need to click here and get a new variable name called small, H-E-A-R-T. And then here, change this to small heart. And then down the list here, select small heart from each one of these. And don't forget the show image box too. Small heart. Okay, so now I've defined both my big heart and small heart images, and so now they're ready to go. So now I can do my artwork. Now I can just focus on my artwork now that I've sort of created these 2 canvases, if you will. All right, so now I'm just going to design a heart. Now I sort of eyeballed this when I did it before to show the demo. You could use the design sketch sheets. You could use the grids, the trays that we created, or you could use the software, the website that we created. All 3 of those. If you're confused about that, then go to, I think it's video 4, where those are the design tools we talk about. So you can refer to video 4. So I'm just going to eyeball it here. So we're going to go make that red, make that red. Oops, missed it. That one red. Let's go red there, red there. Let's come around and make these red here. 2, 3, 4. And let's bring it down here. And come back up here. Get this side here. There we go. Oh, gotta get the middle here. Okay, so that's my interpretation of the big heart. All right, so now let's do the little heart. And once again, when I first did this, I don't know if I used the sketch or if I eyeballed it, but I like to work off symmetry, so it makes things a little bit easier knowing that this is an 8x8 grid and you can get some symmetry going. So that one here, then we'll go here, then here, then here, then here, then here. So that's the small heart. Okay. All right. So now we just got to get them to alternate showing, which if you watched video 5 when we talked about doing the initials, it's going to be the same type of deal. So let's just get them going, and then we'll add the sound next. So I hit functions, and then now you see I have a function that I can call the big heart and call the small heart. So I want to on start. But let's do it if we want it to beat forever. We don't want it just to beat and stop a little bit. We want it to go forever. So we'll do an on start. We want the big heart to show. Then we're going to put a pause in there. So I go up here to basic, and down at the bottom I can grab a pause block. And depending on how fast I want my heart to beat, let's just go every 500 milliseconds, or every half second. The next up, I want to go get the small heart, and then since this is a loop, I have to pause at the bottom here, because if I don't, then it will just show the big heart real quickly and we'll never see the small heart. So this will get us just a steady beating heart, and then we'll come back and put a little bit of sound to it. So that should work. So now I'm ready to download. This would be a good time for your students to save. So if they hit the save button here, it's going to bring this up. Change this directory to where you want it to be, or this folder to where you want it to be. See, it's going to auto name it here, Beating Heart. I already have one called Beating Heart here, so I'll just call this Beating Heart 2. Let's call this Beating Heart version, Beating Heart dash version 2 dot hex, and then get rid of that. So that's what I'm going to call this. Hit save. Okay, now I've saved that onto a folder on my machine. I haven't downloaded it yet. I've just saved it. If I want to make it easy to download, we can pair this, or once again, I could hit download. I think I've paired this already. Sorry. Yeah, I'm already paired. I'm already paired with my microbit. If you don't understand pairing, please look at video 5. The first part of it is talk about how you pair this. But since I've been working on the same machine for a while, I'm already paired here. So now I'm going to run this, and let me put this to the side. Here's my code to the side, and you can see this here. Now, unfortunately, I already have it running, so let me go a little Grinch here and make my heart green so we can see the difference here. So let me make my heart green. Do a little Grinch action, and that way you can see it, see the difference. Because if I upload this right now, you're just going to see the same thing that's already running. So for demonstration purposes, I'll turn this green. Have an envious heart. Let me turn this one green too. All right. Almost there. And just from watching the students do this in class, they get focused. Once you cut them loose to be creative, you want to get them so they have the skills to do this, and then once they get it, they'll go off and be creative, and then you have to bring them back into focus. All right, so now I've gotten this. I've changed my heart green, and so let's download this. Put my PixelBox in the image here. Hit download, and there we go. So I've got my green heart beating. All right. If I wanted it to beat faster, I would make the intervals between showing them smaller. Right. Technically, what I should do is I also should put a clear in here. It just so happens that I have my black pixels are overriding my my color pixels, so I don't really need a clear here. But to be on the safe side, you probably need to put clear image in here. So before I show the next image, I want to clear out the last image. So before I show my small heart, I want to clear the big heart. And again here, before I show the big heart, I want to clear the small heart. So that way everything's clean when I do it. So let's see, something, no, it looks right. Something might be wrong here. Let's see, big heart, small heart. Oh, I know what's wrong. something went wrong here. Let's see. Let's do it this way. The problem is if I put clear image at the top of my code, it doesn't know what I have to define it in the call before I can clear it. So if I put this block up top here, it gives me an error because you see the error code coming down here because I'm trying to clear it before I actually define it in my call. So I have to call the function before I can clear out the image. So I'll put this one down here and it will run at the bottom of the loop, but that's just before the big heart shows here. All right, so it's not you. If I download this, you're not going to see much of a difference, if any at all. But from the student standpoint, depending on what they have going on with their pixels, if they have pixels that are being overlapped or what have you, if they don't clear out the image, then you'll have lagging pixels and they'll keep showing up on other images. So this is a way that every time you show an image, you clear out the last image. All right, if I wanted my heart to beat faster, let's say I got excited, I would reduce the amount of time between beats. So if I do that, you'll see it. Now it's beating faster. And you're getting a lag. Once again, the video screen refreshes at a different rate than I'm showing you the pixels on the PixelBox. When you see this in person, you don't get that sort of lag, and it's a lot clearer image in person as well. So if you try this on your PixelBox, it'll look more clear. So yeah, you can do that. What else can you do with this? You could make it move on tilt. You could make it speed up. Can we make it speed up on tilt? Well, let's put the sound in and not leave the speed up stuff for your students. All right, let's put some sound in just to show that. So we can go here to the music, and PixelBoxes have a lot of musical stuff built in them, which is really cool. We can play a tone. So the easy thing is just to play a tone for one beat. And so every time I show this image, I'm going to play a middle C. If I wanted to get musical about it, when I show, I don't know if you can hear this, it has started making sound now. So if you wanted to stop making sound, come over here to your prototyping demo area and click the stop button, and that will stop it from making sound. So every time, right after I show the small heart, it's playing a C, a middle C. If I want it, I could come here, and every time after it shows the big heart, I could have it play the same note, or if I wanted a little different tone, it brings up a keyboard here, I could have it play an octave lower. So the big heart will be a low note, and then the small heart would be a big note. And I don't know if you can hear this, but try it on your computer and you should be able to hear it. And so let me go back to half a second between heartbeats so the sound, you can hear the sound a little bit better. And then if I hit download, then I would have to hear it, I have to come over here and hit because there's no speaker on the microbit, so I'd have to click this here. So you can actually hear the animation that's going on in the PixelBox out of the computer. So quick exercise, just wanted to show you this one. This may be something you want to do with your students. You can take this all kinds of ways. You can add the shake sensor, so you can do the inputs, and you can add shake, and you could, based on, I guess, how hard they shake it, the heartbeat could increase. You could do the tilt, and when it's tilting, the heartbeat can increase. If you notice here, and we did this. If you want a little bit more detail on this one, once again, I did it in video 5 when I did the initials. I talked about these on input boxes here. But yeah, so you can take this a lot of different ways here. So let me stop this right now because it's being annoying. All right, so there you go. Basic stuff, and you can have your students go crazy with this, and they could make all kinds of things and make images showing a whole bunch of different ways. Okay, 20 minutes on this video. Hope it helps. Thank you once again for teaching with us, and go Jackets.